From Scranton to superstardom, these ordinary office workers became comedy legends. They made us laugh, cry, and rethink every awkward meeting we've ever had. But what happened after the Dundies, the fire drills, and that final goodbye? In this video, we're checking in on the cast of The Office, how they started, how they've changed, and where they are now. Some became Hollywood powerhouses, others total surprises. So let's get started and see how the cast has evolved over the years. You never forget your first terrible boss, especially when he's also somehow your favorite. Steve Carell turned Michael Scott into a walking contradiction. Needy, yet lovable, inappropriate, yet weirdly inspiring. He made World's Best Boss mugs iconic, even though he bought it for himself. Carell was 42 when he gave Michael his cringe comedy crown. He wasn't new to comedy, but this role made him a star you couldn't look away from, even when you wanted to. Now 62, Steve's resume is stacked. From the 40-year-old virgin to Foxcatcher, The Morning Show, and even voicing Gru in Despicable Me. Michael might have been a disaster in The Office, but Steve? He's mastered the art of career glow-up. In an office full of chaos, Oscar Martinez was the calm in the storm, logical, composed, and always 2 steps ahead of everyone else. Oscar Nunez played him with quiet intelligence and perfect comedic restraint. Whether correcting Michael's math or dodging Kevin's questions, Oscar became the show's voice of reason and occasional eye-roll champion. Oscar was 46 when The Office premiered, bringing years of experience from sketch comedy and improv to the role. Though never the loudest in the room, he always left a mark. Now 65, Oscar Nunez continues to act steadily, appearing in shows like People of Earth and The Lost City. He's stayed connected to The Office legacy while building a solid career, much like Oscar himself, dependable, sharp, and never needing to shout to be heard. No one expected a beet farmer in a mustard shirt to steal the spotlight, but Dwight Schrute did just that. And Rainn Wilson? He didn't just play Dwight, he became him. Intense, unpredictable, oddly noble. Dwight was the office warrior no one asked for, but somehow needed. Rainn was 39 when he brought this unforgettable character to life. Not a typical heartthrob, not a standard comic lead, but perfectly, fearlessly original. Now 59, he's still thinking differently. Rainn writes, speaks, and leads with purpose, founding the media company Soul Pancake, hosting a podcast and championing social and spiritual causes. He traded Schrute Farms for soul searching, and somehow it suits him just as well. She loved cats, rules, and judging everyone in sight. Angela Martin, played by Angela Kinsey, was Dunder Mifflin's resident ice queen, and she made passive aggression an art form. Whether organizing party planning committees or hiding a steamy office romance, Angela's tiny frame packed major attitude, and Kinsey nailed it every time, delivering biting lines with a deadly sweet smile. Angela was 33 when she joined the cast, originally auditioning for Pam. Before finding her perfect match in the character everyone loved to side-eye. Now 53, she's anything but uptight. Kinsey co-hosts the Office Ladies podcast with Jenna Fischer, reconnecting with fans episode by episode. She's appeared in multiple comedies and voice roles, but she'll always be remembered as the woman who could ruin a birthday party with just one glare. Let's be honest, Jim Halpert was everyone's office crush. With his rolled-up sleeves, perfectly timed pranks, and that slow-burn love story with Pam, John Krasinski turned subtle charm into a superpower. He didn't need big speeches, just one look to the camera said it all. When he joined the cast at 25, he was practically unknown. But by the end of the series, he wasn't just playing a dream guy, he was one, on and off screen. Now 45, Krasinski's traded the sales desk for the director's chair. He's behind A Quiet Place, starred as Jack Ryan, and somehow became an action hero and the internet's favorite dad. From paper pranks to prestige projects, he made the leap and never looked back. Every office has that coworker, the one who drinks too much at parties, overshares in meetings, and somehow still never gets fired. In The Office, that was Meredith Palmer, and Kate Flannery played her with fearless, full-throttle brilliance. From flashing coworkers to setting her hair on fire, Meredith was a walking HR nightmare, and we loved her for it. Kate was 40 when she took on the role, turning what could have been a background character into a cult favorite with just a glance, or a bottle of vodka. Now 60, Flannery has kept the laughs going with roles in comedy series, voice work, and even a stint on Dancing with the Stars. She also tours with musical comedy acts and still rocks the stage like Meredith rocked Casual Friday, no pants necessary. Every office has that one person who sees everything but says nothing, until it really matters. In The Office, that was Pam Beesly, and Jenna Fischer played her with quiet brilliance. From doodling at the front desk to dropping emotional bombshells with just a glance, Pam was the heart of Dunder Mifflin and Jim's secret weapon. At 30, Jenna stepped into a role that would define a generation's idea of the girl next desk. But she wasn't just sitting back and answering phones, she was anchoring the emotional weight of the show. Now 50, Jenna has turned nostalgia into a full-time job, in the best way possible, co-hosting Office Ladies and keeping the fandom thriving. She's still the Pam we all rooted for, just with more behind-the-scenes stories and a podcast mic instead of a phone headset. She didn't shout or steal the spotlight, but Phyllis Vance always made her presence known. Whether she was softly shutting down Angela or revealing her surprisingly spicy past, Phyllis Smith gave the character quiet power and unexpected humor. She was motherly one minute, savage the next, and it worked. Phyllis was 54 when she joined the cast, not as a typical actress, but as a casting associate who just happened to be perfect for the role. That off-screen magic turned into one of the show's most authentic performances. Now 74, Phyllis Smith continues to shine in new ways, from voicing sadness in Inside Out to earning praise in the OA. She may not have chased stardom, but it found her anyway, and fans still adore her for it. Who was Rainn Howard? A misunderstood genius? A self-obsessed fraud? Or just a guy with great hair and terrible timing? BJ Novak turned Rainn into the office enigma, starting in the back row and somehow ending up in a corner office, briefly. His rise was fast, his fall was faster, and through it all, he never spilled his coffee. Novak was 25 when he helped write his own character into existence, literally. As both actor and writer, he shaped Rainn's story with a pen in one hand and a smirk in the other. Now 45, BJ Novak has left Rainn behind, but not the ambition. He's a published author, filmmaker, and creative mind who's still building cool things, just with fewer arrests and no powdered cheese puffs. Stanley Hudson didn't need much, just his crossword, his lunch break, and 0 interruptions. But thanks to Leslie David Baker, that quiet storm of disapproval became comedy gold. Every sigh, every deadpan stare, every "Did I stutter?" made Stanley an office legend. Leslie was 46 when he took the role, and he nailed the rhythm of a man who lived for pretzel day and barely tolerated everything else. He wasn't flashy, but he was unforgettable. Now 66, Baker still gets love from the Office fans around the world. He's teased returning as Uncle Stan, made guest appearances, and remains a cherished piece of the show's legacy. Stanley may have been counting the minutes to retirement, but Leslie David Baker gave us a character we'll never forget. At first glance, Kelly Kapoor seemed like just another office chatterbox. But behind the glittery eyeliner and pop culture rants was a character with bite and brilliance. Mindy Kaling took Kelly from background to breakout, blending comedy with chaos and giving the show one of its most unforgettable voices. She was only 25 when she joined The Office, not just as an actor, but as a writer shaping its tone from the very start. While Kelly obsessed over Rainn, Mindy quietly built her future behind the scenes. Now 45, she's a powerhouse. With hit shows like The Mindy Project and Never Have I Ever, Mindy's become a creative trailblazer, writing, producing, acting, and opening doors for a new generation. Kelly wanted to be famous. Mindy, she made it happen, with talent, not drama. Nobody suffered more quietly at Dunder Mifflin than Toby Flenderson. Hated by Michael, ignored by his coworkers, and constantly explaining HR policy to people who didn't care, Toby was the office punching bag. And Paul Lieberstein? He played him like a man permanently apologizing for just being alive. He was 37 when he reluctantly became Toby. Originally just a writer on the show, he filled in during casting and accidentally became one of the most hilariously tragic figures on TV. Now 57, Lieberstein is still writing and producing, with credits on The Newsroom, Ghosted, and Space Force. He's left Toby behind, but that blank stare and defeated shrug will live forever. In the end, maybe Toby didn't get the girl, but he did get every viewer's sympathy. And honestly, that's something. He talked slow, moved slower, and dropped an entire pot of chili, and somehow became one of the most beloved characters on television. Kevin Malone, played by Brian Baumgartner, was more than just the office doofus. His odd wisdom, poker skills, and deadpan delivery made him a fan favorite from the start. Brian was 32 when he stepped into Kevin's shoes, and into Dunder Mifflin history. While Kevin didn't say much, Brian's timing and physical comedy said it all. Now 53, he's kept the Scranton spirit alive. Brian's hosted the Office Deep Dive podcast, written a book about the show, and regularly appears at fan events. He may have left the accounting desk, but he's still serving what fans love most. Just maybe not the chili. Was he quality assurance? Ex-cult leader? Identity thief? No one ever really knew. Creed Bratton played a version of himself on The Office, and every time he spoke it felt like we were hearing a confession or a warning. From stealing toner to faking his own death, Creed wasn't just a character, he was an enigma in a cardigan. Creed was 62 when he joined the cast, and yes, that's his real name and real past. As a member of the 1960s rock band, The Grassroots. Now 82, he's still touring, releasing music, and fully leaning into his wonderfully weird legacy. Creed might have kept a mung bean in his drawer and a passport in his shoe, but one thing's for sure, there will never be another one like him. Years have passed, but their faces, their stories, and those pranks still feel like yesterday. The cast of The Office may have moved on, but their time at Dunder Mifflin left a legacy that keeps fans laughing to this day. From quiet glow-ups to major Hollywood turns, their journeys prove that even the most ordinary jobs can lead to extraordinary futures. Drop your favorite Office moment in the comments, and let us know who shocked you most. Like, subscribe, and stick around, because some reunions are just one click away. Thanks for watching The Office Then and Now.